Okay, so we all know that when solving any of these kinds of problems, it's usually the wording in the questions that gets us tripped up. So we know that according to the dividend discount model or the constant growth model, Gordon growth model, the stock price is the present value of all future expected dividends. So to get P0, you need div1. Well, how do you know what dividend you're given? And what do you do to adjust for it? So how would I know that I'm given dividend one? It would say future dividend, next dividend, anticipated dividend, or dividend in 1 year's time. So if I need to um, use dividend one in my equation to get my stock price today, then I don't have to make any other adjustments. If, however, I'm given dividend zero and I need to find a future dividend, I would need to move forward from there. So if most likely, I'd be given dividend zero and would need dividend one. So how do I know I'm given dividend zero? It would say you just paid a dividend of, or is currently paying, or paid last year. Any of those kinds of things would indicate that you are going to use dividend, you're being given dividend zero, and you need to advance that forward 1 year to get dividend one. So you would take dividend zero, multiply it times 1 plus that growth rate, and that would give you dividend 1. So in this equation here, this is saying that n would be 1. So div1 would be equal to div0 times 1 plus g. That's pretty much all you need to know. You don't really need to worry about calculating any other dividends in future years. Then, what happens if instead of being given dividend zero, I'm told information about my earnings and my plowback or retention ratio? So your dividend, remember, is you have a decision. How much of your earnings do you pay out in the form of dividends versus how much do you retain? So your retention or plowback ratio, 1 minus that is the payout ratio. So take your earnings times your payout ratio, or times 1 minus your plowback ratio, to figure out the dividend in that given period. So let's see an example involving a problem where you're given dividend zero. So in this question, you're considering investing in a stock that just paid a $2 dividend. Suppose that you expect dividends to grow at a constant rate of 4%. If your required rate of return is 10%, how much should you pay for this stock? So just paid indicates that I was given dividend zero. I see my dividends are expected to grow at 4%, so that's going to be my G, and my required rate of return is 10%, that's going to be my R. So step one, use div0 and G to find dividend one. So div0 is $2. Our growth rate is 4%. So 2 times 1.04, or 1 plus 4%, tells me that my dividend in 1 year is anticipated to be $2.08. I can then plug into my equation to figure out P0.